what's going on, guys? It's Anime One back here with a new video, and today I'm here with a new part of What If Naruto was neglected and trained by Shanks. So again, if you get this video to 20 likes, and I'll upload the next part as soon as possible. And it does take time to write the script for this video, so one I'll upload every other day from now on because I had taken a break for a long time, so none of the scripts are ready for any of the videos. So I have to take my time and write those scripts as well. But we'll be on a daily upload schedule from probably after 2 weeks after I'm done with all script writing. But anyways, yeah, so get this video to 20 likes and then I'll upload the next part. So anyways, let's begin the video. Naruto was outside at the outskirts of the village, and by his behavior, it looked like he was here there to meet someone. Naruto leaned against the tree and closed his eyes, and after a few minutes, a voice spoke. "How's it going, kiddo?" It was a deep voice. Naruto smiled hearing that voice, and at the other side of the tree that Naruto was leaning on, there was a white-haired man leaning on the tree as well. "Well, it's fine, I guess, Ben," Naruto said to the white-haired man, also known as Ben Beckman. "Well, the information that there's gonna be an invasion in Konoha is true. Our sources have confirmed it, and it will be led by Orochimaru and the Sand Village. Then the Sound that, and also one of the other five," Ben said as Naruto's eyes widened. At that, Orochimaru, he was never part of the official five, but Kara of the other five are the parts of it, and they are nothing but monsters. Ben said in a matter-of-fact tone. "This is quite the information you are giving me, Ben," Naruto said as a little bit of sweat was dripping down over his face. Ben smirked. "Well, it is my duty to watch over you until you're strong enough to finish what the chief started." Ben said, "Well, you always say this, but you never tell me the entire story of what happened. With those five swordsmen, there were originally six of them, and then Shanks left. What I don't understand is where are the other remaining three swords?" Naruto said as he didn't hear any reply in return. He sighed. "Well, if that's it then, I'll share this information with the other four with the fourth Hokage as soon as possible." A few hours later, Naruto was in the Hokage's office with Minato, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and the other three elders of the village. "So, Naruto, why did you call us here?" Minato asked. Naruto looked at the fourth with a dead serious look. "Well, I met one of the people of Shanks' crew a while ago, and he told me something that is pretty terrifying, to be honest." Naruto took a deep breath. "Konoha is gonna get invaded by the Sound led by Orochimaru and one of the five during the final rounds of the tuning exams." Everyone in the room gasped a little. Jiraiya blinked. "Well, the invasion part I can believe because many of my spies in the Sound and Sand have told me that they were sending a huge amount of their shinobi into the Land of Fire. But Orochimaru and this one of the five thing," Jiraiya asked. Naruto looked at Jiraiya. "Well, I'm sure all of you know of the legendary 9 swords, right?" Naruto asked as everyone in the room nodded. "Out of those 9 swords, roughly 10 years ago, 6 of them came together and formed an organization named Kara." "Kara, you say? This is the first time I've heard of it," Danzo said, speaking for the first time. "Well, they have kept themselves hidden, and Shanks was once part of that organization. But once he found out what the leader of the organization was up to, he left the organization. But Kara wouldn't let Shanks leave that easily. He knew of their existence, so the leader of Kara, Aisu, came after Shanks to kill him. But luckily, Shanks managed to escape. But during the battle, during the battle, Shanks had lost his right arm. And I presume you don't know the abilities of this Isu person and what the goal of Korra actually is. Tsunade said in a really skeptical tone. Naruto nodded. Yes, otherwise I would have told you. Naruto then looked at Minato. You're the only one in this entire village strong enough to take on one of the five, Lord Hokage. I believe with your sage mode, you can take one of them on. Naruto said, looking at Minato. Hey, don't count us out just yet, Jiraiya said. Naruto looked at Jiraiya. I doubt that you can beat Lord Hokage in his base form without him using Sage Mode while you are using one. Not to mention, the strongest of the Sannin of you three is nothing compared to the five. Naruto said as both Jiraiya and Tsunade glared at Naruto for that comment. But before the situation could escalate any further, Minato intervened. Naruto, are you sure about this information? That is 100% true. He said as Naruto gave Minato a confident nod. As soon as Naruto did that, the fourth's eyes had changed. Yet they had become cold. I see. So I guess we better prepare for war then, he said as he looked at the three elders. Get the preparations for the war started. I need you to call all the heads, clan heads, Chunin, Jonin of the village and tell them to prepare. Hearing the way that Minato was speaking, the elders knew that he wouldn't take no for an answer, so they complied and left the office. Jiraiya, I need you to get much information on this as soon as possible, and the opponent's army numbers and whatnot. And Tsunade, I want you to prepare all the bunkers and hospitals must be ready for the invasion. I want the casualties to stay as low as possible. Both Jiraiya and Tsunade nodded. You know, Minato, I haven't seen that look on your face ever since you entered the Third Great Shinobi War and you got your moniker, the Yellow Flash. After saying that, Jiraiya vanished to proceed with the orders that he received from the leader of his village. Minato then looked at Naruto. Naruto, I know you have a training exams going on right now, but let's not pretend that you are not at least a Kage level of strength. So I'm gonna assign you to this very important mission and task during this invasion. Naruto nodded, agreeing with Minato. I want you to kill Orochimaru once and for all. I'll personally train you and make sure that happens. Minato said as Naruto's eyes widened. Train me, personally. Minato nodded. I want you to have the best possible chance of defeating that snake. Tsunade will be really busy in the hospital. Jiraiya and Itachi are the only ones that I can take that can possibly take on the snake, except me. And they will be busy during the invasion. And the only person that I can think of that can beat Orochimaru is you. Naruto stayed silent for a few seconds, then nodded. As you wish, Lord Hokage. As soon as Naruto said that, Minato stood up. Follow me, we'll begin your training now. Naruto blinked. Well, I guess he is known as the fastest for a reason, Naruto thought. In the training ground, Minato was looking at Naruto. I want you to go all out, and so will I, Minato said as he summoned Ma and Pa. Minato, it's been a while since you summoned us, Pa said as well. Minato nodded. Well, I want to train my son, and I'm afraid without Sage Mode, I will be in trouble, Minato said as he closed his eyes and his eyes started to get orange pigmentation around them. And when the blonde opened his eyes were yellow with black horizontal bars in them. As black and red lightning started to surround the area. As Minato smirked, you really aren't holding back, are you? Minato said, looking at Naruto, who had his sword covered in fire and black and red lightning. And also, the sword was now completely black, signifying that Naruto had covered his sword in armament as well as Conqueror's Haki. Let's see if you stand up to your reputation, fourth Hokage. At nighttime, Naruto was knocked out clean with his clothes torn up, minor bleedings on his shoulder, and standing and panting there with his cloak completely torn up, was Minato. I knew he was strong, but that was ridiculous. He could probably beat both Jiraiya and Tsunade if he wanted to. Minato thought, looking at his son unconscious form, Naruto's mindscape. Naruto opened his eyes to see the moon, but the sky was blue. What the? Naruto thought, but then he heard a voice. You finally come here. Hearing that voice, Naruto's body shot up and looked at the direction the voice came from. His eyes went wide, and the man standing there was Shanks. Shanks, how can I? Naruto said. Griffin, a sword that has many mysteries around it. Even I couldn't master the blade until to its full extent. Shanks said as he continued. Every user of Griffin gets to interact with the previous user or the previous owner when they have used the sword for a certain amount of time. But this interaction can only be done once. Hearing that, Naruto was shocked, but understood what the man was trying to say to him. I will tell you everything I know about Kara, and also Aisu. As soon as Shanks said that, Naruto's eyes changed. They became much serious. I see. So, you're gonna tell me about it. Shanks nodded. It all began on the day of Uzu's destruction. You see, me and one more person, my younger brother, were the chosen ones to wield the two legendary blades, because our haki at that time was the strongest. I got the sword of fire and light, Griffin, and my brother got the sword of darkness, Enma. Naruto nodded, understanding the story until that point. When Uzu was attacked, the Uzukage made sure that at least me and my brother would escape. Me and my brother started to roam around the elemental nations, trying to survive. Then I met a woman, who, by the fate, had the same name that as the Uchiha girl who you fancy. Shang said Shang said the last bit of the sentence with a smirk as Naruto got a tick mark on his forehead. Wasn't this supposed to be a serious story? Naruto said, as Shanks laughed a little. Well, while continuing the story anyways, she and my brother had a common goal, which was to bring peace and harmony in this world. Or at least that is what I thought. You see, Uzo's destruction affected me and my brother in different ways. After the destruction of Uzu, where I wanted to find us a new home and ensure that something like that never happened again. My brother, on the other hand, wanted revenge. But he played along with me because at that time I was much stronger than him and he couldn't oppose me. Soon, the girl I met, I got married with her and had a kid in the way. During the time, we found out that we found four people like us who wielded the legendary swords. You see, Naruto, people who wield these legendary swords are treated like weapons in their village. All their families and everything they are attached to are destroyed, killed, or completely wiped out. They were it so that they wouldn't have any attachment to anything. But for the case of the four that had joined us, that had backfired completely. Those four individuals wanted the same thing as my brother. That was revenge. And when I found out about their goals, that they were wanted to destroy all the elemental nations and form a new system of shinobi, I quit the organization named Kara. But when my little brother found out about this, in his rage, he killed my wife and also my unborn child. When I found out about this, I was sad, and most of all, I was pissed. I went after him in a fit of rage, but I was defeated and lost my arm in that fight. As you might have already guessed, the brother of mine was none other than Aisu. Naruto nodded. He wanted to say something, but nothing came out of his mouth. Soon I formed my crew to stop Aisu in his tracks, but then I caught my illness, and had to find my successor. And by the chance of fate, I found you. Your talent and the amount of time you mastered hockey was abnormal. I thought maybe you could do something that I couldn't, and that was to kill Aisu. Chang said as he patted Naruto on the head. But then Shanks started to get transparent as he started to light up. Shanks looked at his hand. Looks like it's time, he said as Naruto looked down. You're going already? Shanks again patted Naruto on the head as he ruffled his hair. Cheer up, buddy. I'll always be there with you, watching over you together, always. Shanks said as a teary-eyed Naruto nodded. Shanks smiled the last time, seeing the son that he never had. Naruto, I leave the rest to you. Time skip. 1 month. The village was in a buzz, looking livelier than usual. Many people noted, however, there was a reason to be. Today was the day of the junior exams final. People chatted happily as they made their way towards the stadium, talking about who would win and who would lose, and placing their bets on, whoever they wanted to win, I guess. Many people had their bets on the golden children of Konoha, being Menma and Narumi, and some people also betted on the Hyuga prodigy as well. In the Kage booth, there was Minato. Along with him was the Kazekage, who was oddly completely hiding his face for some odd reason. But Minato and every Jonin Chunin clan heads alike knew better. That man was none other than one of the five. Because, and how do we know that was none other than one of the five? Orochimaru is not foolish enough to go against Minato. Minato, who could probably beat Orochimaru in his base form, let alone Sage mode, even with the Edo Tensei. Let's just not pretend that it will be a completely one-sided fight, and I did not want that to happen. So I paired him up with one of the five because Naruto right now is not ready to take on one of those motherfuckers. Okay. Soon all the contestants arrived at the battlefield. The first match was of course between Menma and Neji. This fight, I'm pretty sure you guys already know the results. Neji, even if he like blocks all of Menma's chakra points, Menma has the training in the nine tails chakra. He can wield 2 tails worth of chakra, so yeah, there is Neji is getting the dog walk in this one. So yeah, Menma wins, Neji loses in the first round. The second round of the tuning exam was Temari versus Shikamaru, and then this pretty much goes the same as it did in canon. If you guys want to watch the fight, go to Crunchyroll or Go Anime or something and just watch the fight. Okay, I don't want to explain it. It's much better if you watch it yourself. The third fight is the one that I'm gonna be, sort of narrating. Is gonna be between Narumi and Kurosochi. So again, I don't want to go too much over this fight because the fight after this one is the fight that I want to wrap up the video with. So yeah, so pretty much this fight is gonna be between the lava style user and the Naito Jinchuriki. Kurosuchi, as strong as he is, as I already said, Menma who can wield 2 tails worth of 9 tails chakra, and Narumi is pretty much the same. He can wield 2 tails worth of 9 tails chakra, and also he has the chakra chains of Kushina. So because of that reason too, there is no way Kurosuchi is winning. As soon as Narumi, Kurosuchi did start to dog walk on Narumi in her base form, but soon as Narumi started to use 1 tail's worth of 9 tails chakra, it was pretty one-sided and Narumi won pretty easily. So at least for that part, we're good. And then let's go to the next battle, which is the one that I want to narrate. The next battle is gonna be Naruto versus Gaara. Oh boy. Both Naruto and Gaara are gonna step foot into the battle in this one. And the proctor is of course gonna, be like, "Are you both ready?" They both are gonna nod their heads and then start the battle. As soon as the battle starts, Gaara is the first one to go on the offensive. He immediately gets a sand to go after Naruto, who, because he trained with Minato, instantly, like in a snap of his finger, vanishes. Right, Gaara is can just cannot keep up with Naruto's speed. It's that bad. The Naruto is much faster than even Rock Lee in his fifth gate. It's that bad. Like Minato trained Naruto pretty good, and after that happens, Naruto starts. Even Sasuke, with his training with the Kakashi, could beat Gaara around. You can already guess Naruto with Griffin and his armament coated sword, what he could do to Gaara. Naruto is still not using advanced Conqueror's Haki on his sword. He doesn't want to use it because he doesn't want to exhaust his Haki quite yet. So because of that reason, Naruto starts battling Gaara. Gaara's sand cannot keep up with Naruto's speed, meaning Naruto is, slashing Gaara all around. Gaara, he just freaking faints because of the pain that he's feeling. Naruto is so fast that, the sword slashes that Naruto is doing are minor, but, soon they start to get bigger and bigger. The slashes, I mean, bigger and stronger, and soon Gaara just passes out with blood loss. You guys might be thinking, why didn't Gaara shout like, my blood? Because he simply didn't have time. Okay, Naruto's slashes were continuous because of his speed. Soon, everyone in the stadium is just dumbfounded by Naruto's speed, and once all this happens, one person in particular glances up at Minato, and that is Orochimaru. He is in the stadium disguised as one of the audience. And he wants all the smoke with Naruto because he got an order from Isu to get Griffin back. If you guys don't know what Griffin is it is the sword that Naruto wields, right? So Orochimaru just wants smoke with Naruto, and then by seeing this battle, he's having his doubts in his strength. At the Forest of Death, Naruto did show him that he is comparable to him, but now Orochimaru's like, oh fuck, this might be quite bad. But still, Orochimaru being Orochimaru, and his pride is, he doesn't want to admit it that he would lose to a kid. But anyway, Orochimaru signals Kabuto to start the invasion, but it does not go as people wanted it to go. As soon as the invasion starts, the barrier of the sound floor goes up and whatnot. But the surprising thing is, Minato, as soon as the invasion starts, Minato, gets his hand in a ram seal. As soon as he did that, the entirety of the stadium gets surrounded in a purple barrier sort of thing. And then after soon, 5 or 6 more Jonins, Anbu level people, they go through hand sign, and they in conjunction say flying Raijin Jutsu, teleportation. And as soon as they say that, all the people who are not ninjas, meaning all the people or the civilians who cannot fight, are immediately teleported into the bunkers where Minato has one of his flying Raijin kunais, and then bomb, all the people are safe. Again, as I said, they knew about the invasion. And as that happens, Minato, who is confronting the supposed Kazekage, is just looking at the man, and the Kazekage is like, you knew of the invasion, Interesting. He said as Minato just looked at the Kazekage with a dumbfounded look. As soon as Minato did that, Ma and Pa literally, popped out of Minato's jacket and jumped down his shoulder. And then, the man, the Kazekage, whose only eyes you could see, is pretty shocked by this. Looks like you're fully prepared for a battle, Namikaze. As soon as the man said that, Minato started to speak. Why don't you drop the facade? One of the five. Minato said as, the man started to chuckle. So, you knew of me, huh? Said the man, and then he, pretty much bursted off his cloak. And the man had brown hair, brown spiky hair, similar to Minato's. And then his eyes were, brown as well. His skin was that black. I'm not trying to be a racist, but anyways, his skin was black, and then he was wearing a really tacky outfit with a brown jacket. I mean, joining kind of jacket, black pants, and then red hurry over his thing, like similar to Minato's hurry, right? And then a sword strapped to his waist. He was one of the five and the weakest of the five. His name was Daichi, the wielder of the stone sword. He was originally from the stone village, and his mother and his brother were killed by the stone village. And because of that, he was in despair, and at that time, Isu and Shanks found him and took him in. And then after that, after training and whatnot, he was extremely strong right now, right? And he wants to get revenge, as I previously said. When Shanks was explaining the entire story to Naruto, and the five want revenge for what the elemental nations have done to their loved ones, right? So this man is pretty much out for blood as well. So, as that happens, Daichi is gonna face off against Minato. Orochimaru jumps at the middle of the stadium to face off against Naruto, and then other people just do their job. Orochimaru, is, looking at Naruto. Naruto's looking at Orochimaru. Orochimaru opens his mouth, of course, in a disgusting way, and the sword of Kusanagi comes out of his mouth. And then Orochimaru is, chuckling and whatnot, and just be like, Naruto, don't think the same thing will happen that happened in the Forest of Death. I was suppressing my power at that time because I didn't want the Anbus to notice me. But don't think you can defeat me. I am a Sanin. You're just a regular old boy that was gifted being trained by the likes of Shanks and received that legendary sword of those Umakis. I will kill you and retrieve that sword. And then, Orochimaru said with a smirk, Lord Isu will have something that he always wanted. The power of Griffin. As soon as Orochimaru said that, Naruto started to unsheath his sword. His eyes became a lot serious as black and red lightning started to surround Naruto's sword, as the sword was now covered in fire as well. The sword became black as well, again, ornament Haki coating, Conqueror's Haki coating. But the thing was, Orochimaru was getting scared. Why? Because the Conqueror's Haki coating was so potent. Like, the Conqueror's Haki was really potent. And Orochimaru was sensing this shit. Like, it was like, what the? His Conqueror's Haki, it's increased so much. Orochimaru thought as Naruto looked at him. You know, Orochimaru, your greatest feat is that the grass cutter. The Kusanagi is an indestructible sword. The sword can pretty much pierce through anything, and the sword cannot be blocked. Or that is what it was supposed to be, isn't it? Naruto said, as the black and red lightning surrounding his sword became a little more intense. I'll show you what a true Haki master can do. I admit I'm not at the level of Shanks, but this much will be more than enough to beat you down, Snake. Naruto said as Orochimaru smirked. We'll see about that, Naruto. So two major battles would be going on. Naruto versus Orochimaru, and Minato versus Daichi. And let me tell this to you guys. Daichi is broken. Okay, it was pretty hard for me to figure out a way for Minato to win, but I did figure out a way. So yeah, yeah. Let's be happy with what we have. All right. So yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. If this video does gets 20 likes, then yeah, I'll upload the next part as soon as possible. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.